Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Cody Proctor. Mark and Whitney are off on this Friday evening. Well, tonight, Spokane police still actively searching for these two robbery suspects who eluded officers yesterday morning. They've been identified as John Gardner and Mary Spencer. Spokane PD considers them both armed and dangerous. Tonight, KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is joining us live in the studio to give us a deeper look into their history of crime. And what did you find out, Amanda?
Spokane police believe John Gardner was armed when he and Mary Spencer stole a woman's handbag in downtown Spokane. Now, I combed through court records today and found this isn't their first encounter with police. Spokane police say after the alleged robbery, the two suspects ended up in a Catholic Charities apartment. This prompted a standoff that put several downtown buildings on lockdown. When police finally got inside, the suspects were nowhere to be found. Now, today I requested the criminal history of the two suspects. The Washington Department of Corrections says Gardner has served time in prison. 1 year and 1 month for assault charges and 1 month in county confinement for a drug possession charge. Now, he was released from custody in August of 2015. But Spokane County records show Gardner has also been charged with assault, traffic violations, and driving without a license since that release from prison. But most of those charges were dismissed because court documents say the county prosecutor didn't have enough evidence. Now, DOC records show Mary Spencer has not served time in prison. However, Spokane County records say she was charged with taking a vehicle without permission in 2013. Now, as police continue to search for these two suspects, SPD say if you see them, you are asked to call 911 immediately. And if you have any information that could help police find them, SPD asks that you call Crime Check. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you so much. Well, switching gears right now to talk weather, a big topic as we head into Memorial Day weekend. It is now here, and with it, we could be seeing some sunny skies and potentially more scattered thunderstorms. The one who really knows all that, Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo, with the details. What to expect if you're heading outside this weekend.
Well, right now it's going to be a bit of rain if you're in downtown. That rain's still coming down. You can see those raindrops. Look at how wet the sidewalk is in some of those streets. Just goes to show how heavy that rain was coming down a bit earlier. Still in the 70s out at the airport, but we'll watch those temps drop as the rain moves through. There it is. Quite a bit of activity out in central Washington. Lind seeing a pretty impressive storm now work its way up toward Interstate 90. The storm just north of Moses Lake dying down. One just to the west of Coulee City making its way toward Waterville, doing a number on Highway 2. And then off to the north, Chewelah, you've been kind of stuck, sandwiched between a couple of storms. That one right now seems to be the end of it, so give it a half hour, you're looking better. Deer Park in on some action. You'll likely see a rumble of thunder there shortly. Here in Spokane, we saw a pretty impressive storm. Looks like all of the energy went into that cell just north of 90. That's why it's still raining there. We kind of missed out on a bit of that activity here on the South Hill. Kind of wound down and looks like everything's kind of coming together. Now, we'll watch these storms wind down once the sun goes down, but if you're in them, just know they're going to kind of persist. Tomorrow, scattered storms in the afternoon. Sunday, partly cloudy and much drier. And by Monday, mostly sunny, warm and dry.
Jeremy, thanks so much. On some of our top stories tonight, the woman found guilty of murdering her two children and conspiring to murder her husband's former wife asked for a new trial, citing confusing jury instructions. Today's the deadline for Lori Vallow's legal team to file for a new trial. The motion was filed yesterday in Fremont County. In the filing, her attorneys argue the court used confusing language when defining the conspiracy charge. They also say a juror gave an interview with East Idaho News after Vallow's conviction, saying the jury instructions were confusing and that he knew of evidence not submitted to the jury about Charles Vallow's death. Vallow is currently set to be sentenced July 31st in Fremont County. Eastern Oregon's Wallowa County became the 12th county in the state to join the Greater Idaho Movement. The Wallowa County clerk confirmed to movement organizers the measure passed by 8 votes. Back in 2020, Wallowa County voters voted on whether or not the Board of Commissioners should discuss moving the state border. It failed by less than 1%. Now, commissioners will have to discuss the idea of separating from Oregon. KREM 2 traveled to the county earlier this year to talk with some of those voters who seemed split on the movement.
I think it's a real good idea, but, you know, I'm 84 years old, and I don't expect to see that done in my lifetime.
You don't want to take the wonder out of the Pacific Wonderland. Idaho's got their thing, we've got ours. Let's keep it that way.
The measure averaged over 60% approval in elections across eastern Oregon. Now, with all 12 counties signing on, organizers hope it'll gain traction in the state house. Before Greater Idaho to actually become a reality, legislatures from both states and the U.S. Congress would have to agree to it. We're learning more details tonight about the resignation of North Idaho College's attorney from earlier this week. In a 5-hour meeting Wednesday, the college's interim legal counsel walked out. That's according to our news partners at the Coeur d'Alene Press. It came after the college trustees reversed an earlier decision to hire new counsel. Attorney Art McComber announced at the meeting he believes laws are being broken by the college staff, but did not share specifics on what laws. The college is still at risk of losing accreditation. May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and over the last 4 weeks, we have spent it showcasing the local people, culture, and issues in the Asian American and Pacific Islander community. And we're not done just yet. Be sure to join us for KREM 2 News for a special on Monday at noon at 4 p.m. We're sharing with you stories from trailblazers in the AAPI community. You can also watch on our streaming platform, KREM 2 Plus. And if you don't have KREM 2 Plus yet, download it today on Roku and on Amazon Fire.